to catch you all up, Heidi Powell and Dave Hollis, mostly Heidi Powell. Dave is like the accomplice in this whole thing. Dave is helping her, start this challenge. And the 60-day challenge, which allegedly has 1,000 people who have joined, which would mean that this has brought in $250,000 at the minimum if they just paid for the basic challenge, which I find to be insanity. But, who's got money? Who's got $250,000 and who doesn't? I don't. She does. So apparently she's the genius. Okay. This was posted September 6th. Which was part of Pui Week. We're out of pre-Pui Week. We're in now pre-week. And Steven's awake. Hello, Steven. As he shuffles to his office. We are, okay, so it is September 12th. And in Hollisville, September is the month of rekindling their romantic relationship. Sexy September. So we are fully into Sexy September. But now we have a new partner. It's called Heidi Powell. I feel like I'm all over the place today, but it'll make sense in just a second. So anyway, so September 6th, they posted this. This is part of pre-week. Those engagement balloons behind them are not to announce an engagement. Why would you ever think that, everybody? That's crazy talk. No one would ever post or put engagement balloons behind them to insinuate anything, right? Unless they were engaged. Now, they are, because the challenge is 1 year old. So, of course, you have to buy balloons to celebrate and to get people hyped and excited. Like, are they engaged? Is this the announcement about the engagement? Apparently, it's never going to be about the engagement. So here we are. This live, like I said, caused me physical cringe. And we'll talk about why, and then we'll perfectly segue into why we're talking about who Chris Powell is. And I think you'll understand why. Here we go. And here we go.
Down, remember? We're going to have you pop up. Is that?
And also, I don't believe that Heidi understands how Facebook Live works, because obviously we all just saw Dave in the shot, and now they're going to pretend that he's not there.
Live? Did they see that? Hold on. Let me see.
And it never gets better.
Oh, nope. They didn't see my guest. They did not see my special guest.
We did.
Good Tuesday morning. Good morning. Look at our set. It's become even better. Who's here? Alyssa. Alyssa's here. I see the LOL. Oh, wait, did you see him?
There's this, here's something that's kind of interesting and sort of, I don't know, maybe it's not even TMI, but maybe it's like too deep in the weeds. But Alyssa is one of the people that Heidi has featured several times in live streams, like showing off, like, look at the results of our participants. And she's been in pictures, and she's been a very big part of this challenge, and she's just a participant. But now in this latest live, or in this latest round, it seems like she's kind of become a worker, because she does recaps, and she pins links, and she does all this stuff, and she's just like I said, just a participant from what they're telling us, as if she's just a really dedicated person that loves this challenge so much. But it's almost past the point of like free labor into like a lot of work that she seems to be doing, trying to recruit people in the comments. And I think that if she is not being paid, she should be. And if she is being paid, that needs to be disclosed, because it's unfair to be paid by Heidi to be promoting and doing all this work on the challenge in the groups and stuff. And she was trying to like tell people how like life-changing it was without that being, disclosed that she's making some sort of income. So sort of when she says Alyssa, that's someone who I sort of have questions about what their relationship to the challenge actually is. But anyways, that's a side note.
Guys, I have a co-host today.
We know, we just saw him.
I have a co-host. Can anyone guess who my co-host is?
Dave Hollis.
Oh, this dang delay. I can't. Oh, 2 days in a row. Good job, Heather. Lacey's here. Heather Jacobs is back. Deanna, Heather Roberts. Hello, Heidi, and
Dun dun dun.
Dave.
Sorry to let everybody down. It's just me. Welcome. Hello.
Not Dave. Oh, Lindsay.
Not Dave.
It's
Please.
Dave. It's Dave.
It's Dave.
I got my H mug. Dave.
Oh man, this feels like a setup.
It is.
It's all I had in my house.
Got my C mug.
I feel like we should make it a D.
And here it begins. So Heidi's second husband is Chris Powell, or was Chris Powell. So apparently that's all the mugs that she has in the house is a C mug. Even though she said that I don't know, I just watched a bunch of videos today and she said she had like 100 mugs. So apparently she's whittled the 100 mugs from a year ago down to 2. And she saved Chris's for some reason. However, we'll find out shortly that that is a lie. Sort of.
I feel like we should make it a D.
I love Chris, and I don't want to disrespect Chris. I'm just, I'd gladly drink out of
He didn't
Chris's
want
mug.
the mug.
I will
In
gladly.
the divorce, Chris did not want the mug. He's not a mug person.
Feels like we could start there.
Should we get him another mug?
I need a mug. Is there a mug person on set? Do we have a mug?
When I watched this the first time, I was like, this is a setup. Like, why would she put that cup there? For what reason? And if you were a fan of Dave Hollis and Rachel Hollis back in the day, I wasn't deeply into, I read her book at that point, but I was not deeply into the lore of like their morning show era, Dave and Rachel. But they did this whole thing where they had coffee and would like sit together and do this exact setup. So I guess that like the morning mug is required to have a, cringy relationship morning show with your spouse who you are probably on the rocks with at all times. That might be in the book of requirements. I don't know, but it just seems like why are we doing this? How does this have to relate to anything fitness, losing weight related or whatever? Anyways.
Wrangler. Any mug.
This is amazing.
Well, we're starting off right. What? Hey! All right. Look at this.
So she did have a D mug, and you might think, oh, this is all supposed to be a joke or whatever. And thank you, Rebecca Romana. Thank you. Rebecca says, free Jack, free Alyssa. Yes.
Jack.
I need an Alyssa supercut as well. But does Alyssa wake up early?
Most people won't get up at 4 a.m.
Probably not. She probably doesn't, which I don't blame her for. Thank you. Thank you very much, Rebecca. I appreciate that. So she did have a D mug, but you might think, oh, this is just a joke, whatever. I don't know why it's funny and why we have to keep bringing up Chris every single time that she does a live stream, because if you were watching the other live stream, she brought up Chris like at least 6-7 times about, him and about what he does and what they did together as a couple, and that was awkward on its own. Now we have the Chris mug. She obviously has a D mug fairly close to wherever they are because whoever's off camera found it immediately. But if you remember, or if you are aware, her first husband was named Derek. So D for Derek is probably more accurate than D for Dave, because you only get a mug when you sign the marriage certificate. I guess is the official rule of the Heidi household.
We're working with a full cast here, everybody. You know what I'm going to get Chris for Christmas?
A mug?
I'm going to wrap that mug up and I'm going to send it over to him. Saw that handsome son of a gun yesterday.
Oh God.
Oh.
I don't buy things unless I'm at that store I was at last.
Feels like there's a chance this relationship could last a little bit when I got a D mug in the house. Goodness gracious. I don't want to get too excited. Good morning, everybody.
I don't
Good
want to
idea.
get too excited.
Well, no, I just want to manage the expectations just a touch, but I did get a D mug. So
This set is a lot better today.
the set is hot.
I mean, I think we need to give the set crew.
Congratulate to the gaffer. I'd like to raise a glass.
Should we cheers to that? Hold on.
You can't toast an empty cup. It's bad luck. It's bad luck.
So water, or do you want coffee?
I've had coffee. I've got enough coffee.
You're not going to like this water.
Is this warm water?
It's warm.
Yeah, man.
It is warm.
I'm not a
This is the
farmer.
one that was in my car.
Oh, come on.
Here, should we cheers it?
Here, babe, here's my ex-husband's mug and some hot water from my car. It really says I love you. More than anything else I've ever seen. Here's these engagement balloons behind us. Not to be confused, this relationship is really built on nothing other than selling items on the internet. Anyways, okay, we're off to a great start, as you know. And again, once again, this is a live stream to sell and to promote a 60-day fitness challenge. We are now 3 minutes in, and I've only felt embarrassed for both parties. And two people I don't think are traditionally very feel sorry for people necessarily, so they've done the impossible.
Do you know that warm water?
You got to look me in the eye. I mean, like, I'm not trying to be weird about it, but that like the bad luck.
Really? I never have done that because I've always had to focus on
Not
where
spilling.
the mug, where the mug's going, or I'd miss.
We're off to an
Cheers.
interesting start here. Cheers.
Yes, whenever I cheers, I go like this. Just so I don't crash it into anything. Cheers! That's a very real thing. Just kidding.
Yeah, you guys, the backdrop does look a lot better. We got lights on our sign.
Did this come out of a hose?
Yeah, no, it didn't. But it is hose lukewarm, and we are in Arizona.
You know when your bottle of water looks like it's pregnant because it's got hotness pushing out on all the sides?
When your bottle of water looks pregnant.
Just it's an early pregnancy. There's a phenomenon that happens when you leave water bottles in a car. They start expanding.
You just missed Alyssa's comment.
What'd she say?
This is Dave's resting face right here.
What'd she say?
She said, can we get Dave a shirt that says #not Chris? I still have people that
Chris.
don't.
I love Chris.
Yeah, no, I don't mean that in it because
As much as I don't like Dave, as a businessman, as a salesperson, I think he uses his kids way too much in his content and in his sales, whatever. And he's made a lot of mistakes that I disagree with. I would be hurt, and I hurt a little bit for him. I mean, he's choosing to be in this relationship, so also like get out of it if this is not good for you, which I would think it's not good for him. But regardless of all of that, to be trying to help somebody essentially, or be a partner to somebody, in this whatever scenario this is, best friend partnership. To be joked about as like, oh, my ex, and then, oh, I need to get your shirt that says not my ex. It's hurtful. Regardless, it's mean. It's just mean-spirited in my opinion. As much as it's a joke, if someone did that to me, I would be very upset. And I think I have a fairly good sense of humor, and I would be upset. So I will give Dave 1 point for sympathy, and that is it.
Oh, I love that sound.
And right back to the jokes. Okay.
Oh.
there are still people that just don't know.
When we were in
that 3 years
I don't know if you
ago-
guys were in the boot camp, but we were in the boot camp and Heidi's, doing her Heidi thing, and I'm participating in the Zoom with the people inside the boot camp. And someone in the comment on the Zoom was like, who's Chris? Right? Like, she's telling a story about extreme weight loss and makes mention of this person named Chris. Like, who's Chris? Well, you just sometimes assume that everybody knows who everybody is. There's a cast of characters that we have to keep up with. Who's Chris? And so
There really is a cast of
Heidi
characters.
explains, Chris is my husband. We have children together.
Why do
And
you
I'm
say-
now with someone
I
else.
think Chris is my husband. That'd be
You
weird.
said Chris was my
Yeah.
husband. He was my husband.
Yeah, he was.
And he now isn't your husband. And now you happen to be hanging out with this guy named Dave, who's not Chris. And without missing beats, I'll give myself some credit. I went into the Zoom 3-dot thing. I tapped it. I changed my name in the Zoom to
Not Chris.
Not Chris. Just so that we were clear, not Chris.
Just so that we're clear, thank you, Mandy Lee. Welcome to the membership. Just so we can support Dave here.
Clear.
Just so we're clear. He is not Chris.
No shit.
There was I don't remember what post I put up on Instagram the other day, but someone had commented twice and said, I need to know the name of the man that like who's the man you're with? What's the name of the man you're with? Is that your, I mean, like, and I'm like, oh man.
So do I.
I know. Wait, what?
Same.
Oh,
Oh,
what are we
God.
doing here?
Jones has the best jokes. Chris was the pre-husband. Derek was the pui-pui husband. Dave is the challenge. Damn. Oh man, that's good. That's so good. Roasted. Oh, okay. Again, we're 5 minutes in, 5 minutes and 45 seconds in. All we've discussed is who Chris is with no answers, except that it's her ex-husband.
All right, so today we're going to scoot forward a little bit so we can be
Are we?
closer because my eyes are not great.
If we get close enough to the light, will I get a suntan?
There.
Okay.
Oh, now we're breaking the fourth wall.
Oh,
You see
geez.
that? You
Oh,
guys
yeah.
can see the top of the set.
Top of the banner.
We're going to have to go right at your.
Ah, I thought we were on a professional set. Nope, just your living room with a banner that we got over at Staples.
Lindsay, you're right.
True. Again, like, I know that they have Zoom, but this live stream setup that I have, like, let me promote myself, but this live stream setup is not like out of their budget. Definitely not. Like, it's, it takes a little bit of work to get it set up, but like, you can have a 4K camera, you can have graphics, you can have stuff that works in Zoom. The program that I use does it. So like the fact that they're so like low budget, we're just going to use the computer's webcam and like this, sign from Kinko's on the back of the wall. It's really no excuse. Like, you can deliver high quality results, high quality production from your home with a little bit of effort. Call me, please. I'll set it up for $1 million. And then we can like it will be worth people paying the money to sit in here and watch you talk about, your ex-husbands and Dave's water from the car a little bit better. It just bothers me. I know I'm nitpicking because I come from a, TV background, a production background, but it's like, if you really care about the people watching and participating, it's worth putting in the effort to get a microphone so that you don't have to like strain to hear. It's worth getting a good light, a better, backdrop so that it's not distracting and like random. I think personally, especially when you're asking people to pay $250 a pop to join, like, I think we all sort of deserve at this point better than Zoom calls for that much.
Two totally different people, but two great people who actually get along.
Everybody's
really
great. Everybody's
That is,
different.
I mean, that's not what we're here to talk about today, but I always talk about the things we're not here to talk about.
Feels
I
right.
am really
Feels
lucky with the way, I mean, like even thinking about, was that last night when we found out Ruby had,
jeez.
Oh, okay. Before we get to this is sad, bad cringe. Thank you, Mandy Lee. Thank you for that. Mandy Lee says, Kia, you should do Hollisville bingo for the lives. One of the options can be Heidi talks about Chris. Yeah. So if you're a part, I agree. That's a good idea, Mandy. If you're a part of the Hollis Uncensored Reddit thread, like months, probably 6 months ago, or by now, if you search there for bingo cards, there are bingo cards. There's a couple. One I made that has one of those on there. Heidi brings up Chris and a bunch of other Hollisville stuff. So it's just like a PNG, like graphic thing. So if you want to play, you just have to search it on Reddit. I'll bring it up in a second if you are interested in that. And there's lots of like inside of things. Oh, thank you, Michael. Welcome. Okay. So now we're talking about, we're still 6.5 minutes in. And thank you, Mandy. Sorry, I forgot who it was for a second. My bad. But just remember,
I am not problematic.
I am also
Douche lord.
a douche lord. But
I don't regret anything.
there you go. Okay, we're still talking about Chris, I believe.
We got a phone call.
Oh, no. Okay. I almost hesitate playing this part, but I also want to show how horrible they are. And it's like, why am I censoring them when they should be censoring themselves? But okay, so now they're going to talk about Chris again, sort of, that they talked to Chris on the phone, but they're going to tell a medical issue that Heidi's daughter is experiencing. And apparently is important to share this with not only the community inside of their fitness challenge, but also take this video and put it onto YouTube for everyone to see, including us. But I'm going to play it. Sorry. I don't know if this is the right decision, but I'm going to play it anyways.
Our squirrel moments.
Chris had called me
Chris calls and
at like 9 p.m.
And we had been at the gym, the phone had rung, we missed the call him back. And I don't know that I was ready for the words that came out of his mouth. I'll be honest. I don't know that I was ready for the words that came out of his mouth.
He said, hey, we got to tell you something.
And I was like, uh-oh.
And then he's like, Roops, do you want to, because the kids went back to Chris last night.
If you're eating, by the way, go ahead and set the fork down for a sec.
Set the fork. Everyone.
Go ahead and set the
over
fork
here.
down for a sec.
You're
This is
gonna
going to
wanna
go to
hear
a
this,
place
and
that's
you're
not
not
going to
gonna
make you
wanna
very
hear this.
happy. I'll tell you that much. It didn't make me happy.
They talk
So
over
he
themselves
said-
so much.
Ruby, do you want to tell them or do you want me to tell them? She's like, I'll tell them. And she's all, I have pinworms.
Yeah, that's great.
I have pinworms. Chris is like, we did the check.
I started
The
scratching my
pinworms
head
are there.
immediately because that's what I do when anything terrible happens that involves itching.
Apparently, Chris says Chris knows everything about everything. He really does. The
Right.
guy knows every fact about everything. And so he apparently, I mean, maybe this is wrong, but this is what he said. He said a dog has been licking her face or something. And I don't think a dog's been licking her face.
Okay, so moving on from that, so we don't focus on it too much. TMI, leave your kids' personal information off the internet for the millionth time, please. That's the only thing. If you learn nothing from this channel, learn that I hate when parents offer up their children's image, their everything about them, their medical conditions, what school they go to. It's like, enough is enough. We need to stop. We need to stop doing this to children that have no choice and that are physically and legally obligated to live in these homes with these, I don't know what the word is. Parents is the very nice term for it. Irresponsible parents, in my opinion, where they just are, telling every piece of information. That's the first part. Don't like it. I feel bad for the daughter. Secondly, Chris knows everything about everything, every fact about everything in the world. I don't think that is accurate. I'm not saying Chris is a stupid person whatsoever. I think he's actually very intelligent and seems to be, a well-spoken guy from the videos I've watched already, in the last week. But he is not a, Einstein genius, never made a mistake. So that already seems like either a dig at Dave, that Dave doesn't know shit about anything, or just an unrealistic projection of like what she thinks he is, because I don't think that's something anyone can live up to, knowing everything about everything. And then the next breath go, well, I don't know if he was right about this. It's just weird. I don't know.
Then he said, also, if one person in a house has pinworms,
Everyone does.
everyone
Everyone
has pinworms.
has pinworms. Guess what? We have 8 kids and 2 adults.
My buns are
in a
not
house.
itching, so I don't think I
My
have
buns are fine.
pinworms. Yeah,
My
I don't.
buns are fine.
I don't.
I mean,
Great. That's all we care about.
I think
They're fine.
Now all of a sudden, it's like I'm so suggestion. Like you say that I might be, down with something. I get the symptoms almost immediately. So
You and Maddox both. I had called Maddox. I'm like, buddy.
yeah, those were
How
fun
you feeling?
calls. Those were
How
fun
you
calls.
feeling?
Calling the rest of the humans who were all together to make sure that they were on the lookout.
We didn't even do the day 2 slide. Val, cue the day 2 slide.
What's the day 2 slide? There's a day 2 slide.
Wait, I think I have to make her co-host. Oh wait, no, we got it.
No.
Val
Maybe.
has started. Welcome to day 2.
Well,
You
look at
guys,
that.
Val
Professional
made
slide.
she made that. So Val, let's make a note because I saw some comments from people saying, can we get
Okay, I was like, the day 2 slide. What is it? It's literally just this, apparently. This is the information that they're presenting that needed to be shown. The literal thing that is behind them as well. Okay, thank you for
That
this. So
thing?
glad.
this logo on a
Do
t-shirt?
people understand why it's called the nut house or what the squirrel even has to do with anything?
No, they
No.
probably don't. So
No.
let's just say that this challenge has come a long way. Let's talk wedding rings. The wedding rings are here because this is our anniversary challenge. It's like the first anniversary and the last.
Dave's looking around like, oh, that's why. It wasn't subliminal messaging. I was not aware of that.
Oh, it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. It's been a year and now it's gone.
I mean, there's going to be something else.
There'll be something else. Of course there'll be something else.
But yeah, Alyssa, if you know, you know. Dave's itching over here. Dave is itching over here. But there is such a huge population of OGs in this, like, original gangsters. Is that what OG stands for?
That is what OG stands for.
In this crew here.
Welcome, Albanese. Woo, woo, woo.
Who have been around since the very first challenge. And they've actually seen, I mean, comment if you are one of them, you have seen the evolution of this challenge. Number one, the first challenge, the first one we did, so first, this is number 4, did not have a pre-week. We did not have a pre-week. We didn't have mugs.
No pre-week for first time, only fourth time have pre-week. There, I've delivered all the information she's delivered so far. Oh.
We didn't have mugs. We didn't have.
I just got a mug.
Just in time. There they are. OG. Cindy, you've seen me go from doing this thing, like, so probably a little bit timidly at the beginning, right?
Sure.
To owning it, to now I'm like, okay, this is the last hurrah. Let's have fun. Right? And squirrel. So what is squirrel and
Squirrel. So they're gonna explain it. It's stupid. I don't know. It's supposed to be like she's got ADD, undiagnosed ADD or untreated ADD, and we're gonna celebrate that as like some sort of, success story. Again, I don't know. I was gonna say something. Yeah, I don't get the rings. Why are you getting rings on your anniversary? Wouldn't that be the first time you're proposing? And these are engagement rings, not wedding rings. I don't know. Whatever.
what is the nut house?
Well, I mean, squirrel is basically a pseudonym for Heidi at all times, because anytime we get into any kind of topic, anytime there is any kind of script or bullets or agenda for a meeting, we just get sidetracked. And there's like, oh wait, I thought of this thing, and all of a sudden I'm gonna go over here. If you saw Up, there was this dog. Was it Up where there was Doug?
Wait, where was Doug?
Didn't you work for Disney, Dave? Weren't you like the number 7 person at Disney at one point? Wouldn't you fucking know that? That's like the softball of softball questions. Don't you know the basic characters of the films that you're promoting? No? Okay. That feels right. That feels right.
He was like, squirrel.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
So, and one of the rules in here, like, well, I guess my rule in life, I grew up with 3 brothers. And when you have 3 brothers and a very like tough dad.
Thanks, Andrea or Andrea. I can never tell through text. Thank you.
What are we doing with that?
She asked us to make her the host.
Oh, okay. When we have 3 brothers and a very tough dad, you learn to not take anything personally, really anything. And you learn to laugh at yourself. Like
yes, this is a universal truth. When you have an abusive family, I'm not saying that her family's abusive, but it's basically the same thing. Like when you have an abusive family, you just get really numb to everything. It's great. It's lovely. I'm not saying that's what her situation is, but I think the same could be said. When you have people who treat you like shit, you just sort of take that as like what you deserve. It's amazing. It's like, okay.
The only way my dad
Yikes.
used to tell me when my brothers would make fun of me, he'd be like, the more you cry, the more they're going to make fun of you.
This is real.
And he would be like, this is in the real world too.
This is real.
The more you whine about people not liking you, the more they're going to not like you. The more you have an issue. Like, who?
Heidi, what the heck? What the shiz? I thought
It's okay to cry.
it was okay to cry. Now you're telling me not to cry? I'm confused. And Dave's saying, it's real. That's real. That's not real. I mean, it might be real, but it's not good advice. Like, just stop crying, get over it, and then people will like you more. It's like, oof, That's concerning advice. JB, thank you so much. When I see these two, I shout skunk, not squirrel. JB, for that, Dave has this to say.
That wasn't nice.
How dare you? I'm just kidding. But also,
You are gonna marry Dave Hollis.
that's you, JB. You are going to marry Dave Hollis because the more you are mean to somebody, the more they like you. That is the key to success.
There's Colleen.
Thanks, JB.
Who cares? And so I really did get good at not caring and at being able to laugh at myself. And that squirrel thing,
It's real.
it's real.
It's real. It's
Someone
real.
said you don't squirrel as much. I don't think I squirrel as much. That's another fun little thing.
That's a lie.
Hold on. Can we also show? I think
Okay, no, I know. But Dave's got some funny zingers once in a while. I do like it. I can't lie. It's mean as hell. And it's horrible to watch this toxic relationship go down. But, given the circumstances, you got to find the positivity where you can, right, guys? Choose joy. I'm choosing to laugh at Dave's quips today.
Val, I had you make a slide to show. Now we're making fanny packs.
I know.
Val,
where this
can
is
we
going.
show?
We don't have to show anything.
Can we show the fanny pack, Val? No?
No.
No.
Thank
Give
you.
her a second. God.
Oh, Val.
Honestly.
That is hummus in Dave's pouch.
I used to wear a suit
Hummus,
to work
not
every day. I actually used to lead meetings and I wore suits. And now I've got a fanny pack on.
Is he having a moment of clarity? Probably not. I always hope. I'm like crossing it, like, come on, man. Get your shiz together and, go back to the workforce. Universal Studios needs you. They need another mediocre white guy at the top to really show them the true nature of society. Come on, Dave. And he'll say something that's so true, but that does not take his own advice.
Gone and live about hummus. Put that on my
I think
LinkedIn
that's
profile.
so great. Hummus not included. Actually, so this fanny pack right here that you see, this is and let me just say this: we have a shop. We don't.
I like it too. I like the fanny pack. It's not worth $5,000 or whatever they're trying to sell. With this $5,000 package to go to my house and have a mastermind with me, you also get a fanny pack. That's not that's not priced appropriately, but the actual look of it, I think it's kind of cool looking.
I do not promote the shop or talk about the shop online because I don't do it for money. I do it because you guys ask for things.
Of course.
I don't think anyone asked for a fanny pack.
Nope.
I just got carried away.
Literally.
I don't think. Okay, let's just listen to this line again about how she contradicts herself immediately.
Ask for things. I don't think anyone asked for a fanny pack.
Nope.
I just got carried
Literally,
away.
and I can speak for every person in this community. Nobody asked for this velour pink fanny pack.
This is not velour, babe.
Whatever it is, no, is it
Vinyl.
plastic?
It's like vinyl.
It's vinyl.
So listen, let's talk about
This is not velour, babe. I would know. Okay.
how this came about. Last challenge. So every challenge we have a theme. What was the theme to the second one?
Chaos.
Okay, yeah, agreed. See, Dave, what a wonderful addition to this live you are. I do like the levity. So this is a part that is going to be, again, to me, once again, number one supporter of Dave Hollis apparently today. I would be pretty offended by if I was him. This part coming up.
Dave goes down.
Dave's going to treatment.
Dave spirals into darkness.
And Heidi carries load for everybody. Let's
Oh, no.
finish that.
Yeah, that was a great challenge.
The third one, though.
Like, we all know he went to rehab. We all know he went to, treatment. And I don't think she's brought it up before. If you were watching during the live stream talking about the s'mores bar, where it says, let's get toasted. It was like a funny pun about, s'mores bar. And Heidi with Dave there was like, yeah, that's appropriate for Dave. who's like an admitted alcoholic who is, whether you believe that he is really taking it seriously or not, I also have my doubts if he really considers himself an alcoholic or is just using it to have some sort of, story to tell in his self-help circle, and if he really is taking it for real serious. But let's take him for his word. He's talked about being an alcoholic and that he struggled with that for many years, and he went to an 8-week treatment facility, and he said it changed his life. So why would you ever joke about it? And if someone needs to go to treatment in that way, in that serious way, the fact that you had to carry the load of an online fitness challenge seems like a small price to pay to make sure that the love of your life is healthy and safe and thriving. Wouldn't that be priority number one in any relationship, friend or boyfriend or whatever? I would hope so. To me, I can't comprehend why you would feel, and they talked about this on a podcast that they had together where Dave was like, apologizing to Heidi about, leaving and her being burdened with like all of this work because, he had to leave. It's like, what's the alternative? Spiraling into darkness for real? Like, it just seems like that's not a good support system to be around. Someone who's going to literally make you feel bad for going to get treatment and seeking help. That is not good at all. It's not like they're raising like newborn babies and he left, they're running an online fitness group that is primarily Heidi's anyways. Thank you, Rebecca, again. Rebecca Romana, thank you so much. Rebecca says, y'all, I'm going to steal Dave from Heidi. End this madness. Make him go back to Disney and get us a Moon Knight season 2. Take one for the team. Rebecca, you go. We support you. I think you need to join the group and then infiltrate that way, because I hear that Dave texts people in the group. That's your way in. Join the group and work out and, just secretly wink at Dave during Zoom calls.
I will actually do something obscene for you.
And just tell him that. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I like your plan. Okay, back to this nut house, as they call it.
Was Baby Got Back.
Yeah.
And
that was the comeback challenge.
That was the challenge where Dave was not allowed to be a part of it at first.
Yeah.
And then
slowly inched my way back in.
But as part of the Baby Got Back.
Again, like, okay, he wasn't allowed to be a part of the third challenge because he had to go seek, treatment for alcohol abuse. Like, again, like, it seems like that was the best decision that he could have made at that time for himself and his health. And if he really truly was struggling as much as he said he was, then like, what other option would there be? Continue to struggle and like pretend for the world that they're all fine? I mean, I guess that's what she's asking for, but to not let him be involved in the group seems like a petty, mean thing to do as well.
Glute program, we did fanny packs, and they are, oh my gosh, we got our pins on it. Look at this. This is actually how Ruby has a fanny pack too, and hers is all pinned up. I don't know if you got the pin. So now you understand. Oh, there's another pin. So this is our Baby Got Back, the glute, when the glute program was introduced. It has a little HP tattoo on its buns right there. And then there's a 60-day challenge classic, a heart. But this, look
how far the challenge has come.
And we really did it first for the mastermind piece, remember?
I know.
I usually put my gummy bears in here. What are you putting there in your?
I wouldn't put this on if you paid me literally anything.
He already did for the photo and put hummus in it. Okay. Oh boy. Is the K silent? Sanjaya? Thank you. Or Kansija? Phonetically spell it for me. Phonetically spell it, please. And I'll be able to say it correctly. Thank you for joining, regardless.
But you did it.
But I did it. I did it that day to support the team.
But we had these made originally for the VIP mastermind. So when you're a part of the VIP mastermind group, we do a big gift box. It's an 8-week program. We'll talk about it later it's really like a 10-week program, and then an in-person meetup with a bunch of special guests.
Nothing sells a VIP program like a plastic.
It wasn't to sell it. We're not talking about it right.
Plastic fanny pack.
I'm just telling you, we have fun. we have fun.
Oh,
And we thought it was funny, and we thought it would be, and we put marshmallow dream bars in it.
hold on. I just got a call from the team. Now in the shop, we've got D mugs. There's only one. But
He's retiring his
if
spot.
you'd like to grab this baby, I'll sign the side of it and send it right over to you.
Should we do that?
$3.
No, we got.
Only $3 stinking dollars.
I am all about getting a free ride.
If you remember, if you were a longtime follower of Dave Hollis, I guess like not even that long, since the downfall, I suppose, during Pancake Gate, one of the most funny and weird moments of the whole thing was that he was trying to hawk his book, Built Through Courage, and he was on his patio of peace, you know, ending his career essentially. And he had American flag socks on in the shot, and he said, for whoever buys the book, one of you, I will sign these American flag socks in an autograph fashion, as opposed to what other fashion, I don't know. I'll sign these in an autograph fashion and send them to you for finally making a good decision in the month of October. So now fast forward however long it's been, I guess a year or almost a year since Pancake Gate last happened. God, it hasn't even been a year yet. Now he's gonna sign his D mug from Heidi's first husband and send it to you. So really nothing has changed. Some things have changed. As more things change, the more they stayed the same, right? Right, everybody?
We gotta have it all week, but maybe after.
Yeah, maybe after.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Oh, we need to give this away.
Let's give it away.
We're gonna give it away.
Let's give it away right now.
We decided. So yesterday we gave stuff away after. Dave and I this morning are like, that's no fun. We're gonna give it away on the show.
Yeah.
Jules, you know what? We'll talk about that on another day. Why end the challenges?
Why end the challenge?
Go watch Dave's story, kind of. But we'll talk about it. Listen, let me just say
Thanks,
real
Bree.
quick. Sometimes when you're in a spot where you can't, like there's a lot of time taken away.
We can have we have a live pancake breakfast. We should. That would be actually funny. We'll do the show in the morning, and we'll do a pancake breakfast, and it'll be a live stream where we, I don't know what, talk about Dave.
Away from my kids and myself right now, but mostly my kids. I don't spend as much time with them as I want to because these have been year round, and I give everything. My team gives everything. It's a lot.
If you had an ability to turn something on, but only turned it on to like mid-level instead of all in maximum service,
know how.
Then it would be different.
Yeah.
But this is a maximum service person. When it goes on, it's binary. It's either on or off. And when it's on, it's all the way on.
Let me tell you this. I also know this. I know that when we're in the middle of a thing that feels like it's hard to see another way when you're inside of a box, but then the second you open the box, take a look out, there might be another way. And so it's like, I even hesitate saying never, because I think there could be a version that just looks a little bit different, right? But
she literally said, I'm never doing this again. My children come first. I will never do another challenge this way. I cannot do it. It does not pencil in for me. Now she's like, well, I did make $250,000 allegedly. I guess you can do this again. I guess my constant shilling has worked for me. I guess I could try. Fuck my kids. I don't know. That's maybe too far, but now she's like, sort of insinuating like, well, I did say pretty strongly that I'll never do another challenge. However, I could be swayed back into it if you guys beg me for it.
I have a thing in me that has me not feeling good if I'm not constantly working for what I'm providing for you guys.
That's called go to therapy. That's called an issue. It's okay. I got 20 million issues, but it ain't something I'm putting on my live streams as a positive, ooh, this is why you should pay me money for.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk about that. Let's give away the fanny pack.
Let's give away a fanny pack. Fanny pack winner wrote this in a post today that was inspiring.
Okay, he's going to read his announcer voice. That's basically the end. I don't think there's anything else after that. And then they go, that whole thing was 17 and a half minutes. Nothing about fitness was mentioned one time. Literally not once was there a fitness mention.